God to them. And this morning we would like to do this by examining Revelation chapter 7, verses 1 through 8. We began around the first Sunday of this year studying the Apocalypsis Jesu Christu, and here we are now in chapter 7, in this amazing study that the Lord has given us. Follow along as I read Revelation 7, beginning in verse 1. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, so that no wind should blow on the earth or on the sea or any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the rising of the sun, having the seal of the living God. And he cried out with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, "Do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we have sealed the bondservants of our God on their foreheads." And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. From the tribe of Simeon, 12,000. From the tribe of Levi, 12,000. From the tribe of Issachar, 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. From the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000 were sealed. I'm sure you join me when I say that I long for every blessing that God can give me in my Christian life. And certainly I rejoice knowing that God has revealed many ways for us to be blessed through the truths of His Word. And this is precisely the benefit of the study of Bible prophecy. You may recall that in the prologue of the Apocalypse in chapter 1, verse 3, we are told, "Blessed is he who reads and those who hear the words of the prophecy and heed the things which are written in it, for the time is near." And indeed, what an enormous comfort it is to know that God is in control of the universe, to know that Satan is a defeated foe, to know that one day the wicked will be judged and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. People around our country and indeed around our world are growing increasingly concerned about what they see. Recently, we've had citizens gather together in our country having what they call tea parties, where they are protesting the Marxist ideologies that are now driving our government and bringing ruin to our nation, as it has every other nation in the history of the world. And as I watched these tea parties, I thought to myself, for the most part, certainly not with everyone, but for the most part, these people have no idea what the real problem is. The real problem is not our government. The real problem, dear friends, is sin. They have no idea how bad things are really going to get. And they have no idea what is about to happen upon the earth, because most of them have no understanding of the Word of God, especially the prophetic Word. There is a danger looming on the horizon of even our country, and in fact the whole world, that is far worse than Marxist ideologies, and that is the scourge of Islam. I was studying some demographic statistics this last week, and I learned more about the exponential rise in the population of Muslim peoples, whom, by the way, we should love with all of our hearts and do everything we can to present the gospel of Christ to them. But as I studied the research, I learned that in order for a culture to maintain itself for more than 25 years, it must have a fertility rate per family of 2.11. Otherwise, the culture will decline, and it will take 80 to 100 years for it to correct itself. In fact, historically, no culture has ever reversed a 1.9 fertility rate. However, across the European Union, 31 countries, the fertility rate is 1.38. But with the Muslim people, it is 8.1. Yet, it's interesting that because of not only the Muslim fertility rate, but also immigration, the population of Europe is on the rise. In fact, 90% of all immigrants are Muslim. In 39 years, France will be an Islamic republic, according to the statistics that I've read. And within one generation, all of Europe will be dominated by Muslims. Muslims are very excited about this. Muammar Gaddafi of Libya says, and I quote, "There are signs that Allah will grant victory to Islam in Europe without swords, without guns, without conquest. We don't need terrorists. We don't need homicide bombers. The 50-plus million Muslims in Europe will turn it into a Muslim continent within a few decades." Currently in Russia, 1 in 5 are Muslim. And they are concerned that in just a few years, 40% of their entire military force will be Muslim. And Russia will very quickly then become a Muslim nation. This makes the Russian invasion of Israel, described in Ezekiel 38 and 39, all the more probable in the very near future. In the United States, the fertility rate is 1.6. You add the Latino immigration and their fertility rate, and it increases it to 2.11, which is the bare minimum required to sustain a culture. In 1970, we had 100,000 Muslims in the United States. Today, we have 9 million. And in 50 years, there will be 50 million Muslims in America. If the Lord tarries, dear friends, your children and my grandchildren will grow up in a world dominated by Islam. And eventually they will live in a Muslim country here in the United States. The demographic trend is now irreversible. In fact, it's estimated that in about 60 years, the whole world will be dominated by the most wicked, satanic religious system in the history of the world, which is Islam. Now, this is a terrifying reality, especially in light of the prospect of a nuclear Iran and Islam's obsession with the elimination of Israel and all who support her. The ancient battle between Satan's kingdom of darkness and God's kingdom of light can be seen in all of this. You will recall that, according to 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 4, Satan is the temporary god of this world, and we know that he has erected a counterfeit temple, an Islamic temple, right on Mount Moriah, the very place where the Ark of the Covenant once sat, the very place where the Holy of Holies once stood.